Hello and welcome to the I Do Wedding Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Nina Addeo, a social media marketing expert specific to the wedding industry. On this show, I discuss tips to help you DIY your social media, as well as getting the confidence and income to outsource it. Thank you for allowing this episode to come through on your Bluetooth, your car radio, wherever it may be you're listening from today. Now, let's take your wedding business to the next level. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the I Do Wedding Marketing Podcast. If this is your first time here, hello and welcome. My name is Nina. I'm the owner of I Do Wedding Marketing, which is a social media marketing agency specifically for wedding professionals. And today, what we're going to be talking about is goal setting for wedding professionals, or really in general. We're going to be talking about goals. And this topic comes from my friend Latasha James's Business Challenge. So she posts 25 prompts that are ideally to be used for daily content creation in the month of December leading up to Christmas. It's a business take on the phenomenon known as Vlogmas in the YouTube sphere. But I decided I'm not going to post daily or record daily because all that's going to do is clutter my feed and tire me out. Though I am really enjoying this kind of frequency of doing just sitting down and talking and having a prompt. I love having a prompt to talk about. But if you've missed some of our past episodes, be sure to go back because it is the perfect type of content to get wedding professionals geared up for a new year. And how else do you prepare for a new year than the satisfaction of goal setting? I'm a big person when it comes to having vision boards, setting goals, journaling even. That's really how I personally tackle goals. Is every morning I sit down with a journal and I kind of just release my anxiety for the day ahead in the form of what are my goals for the day. So those are really short-term things that are addressed there. And I started working with a new to me coach, and I've been having such a fantastic experience with him. And he has been going over SMART goals with me. So that's how I want to frame today's topic of goal setting for wedding professionals. And we're going to talk about SMART goals. So firstly, what are SMART goals? I wrote it down in my little book here. The fact that I enjoy this coach so much that I've dedicated a really nice hardcover book to him just shows I am committed, because I'm a notebook hoarder. So a SMART goal, okay, they each stand for something, is S, specific, M, measurable, A, attainable, R, realistic, and T, have a timeline. So you want to make sure all your goals include these things. Now, in my work with my coach Jeff, we have separated these into happiness goals, wealthy goals, and healthy goals. Right now, I just want to talk about something a bit more wedding specific, and then we can go into those categories and how that will affect everything else. So one, specific. So that's where it comes into knowing your numbers. How many weddings do you want to do next year, let's say? And the measurable aspect of this comes from, well, how many did you do the past year? How many are you capable of doing? And then we also, in terms of being specific, is knowing what you charge per wedding. Is that realistic? Is it attainable? And I don't just mean realistic in terms of it being too high. I mean realistic in terms of it being too low. Okay, if you're, gosh, we all see it, right? A day of coordinator who charges, let's say, $1,000. If you wanted to make 50 grand in your business, that means you're going to be working every weekend. Is that realistic for you? Is that attainable for you? Right? We know it's measurable. We just measured it out. So using those measurements, what is it you are looking to do? And in episode 76, I believe it's 76, I spoke with Denniston of Eventlightenment, who does under 12 weddings a year, and they're luxury market weddings. And she talks about how to get into that market. She also teaches on SMART goals. So if you're looking for a wedding professional to work with on SMART goals, check her out at Eventlightenment or go to episode 76 of this podcast. But so really what you want to think about is realistic in terms of not just, am I charging too much, but am I charging too little? The timeline is when you want to do this by. So what's great with the wedding industry is, it's very kind of like timeline based. You have your 2024 weddings, your 2025. Something to think about is things like how many 2024 weddings, did you have booked by 2023? And then you want to start thinking, all right, well, how many 2025 weddings do I want to have booked by 2024? And right now, you can also, I think you should be thinking about, if you're not booked up for 2024 yet, is thinking, how many do I want to book this quarter for summer and fall of 2024? So start thinking about that now. What I also would say regarding this is to kind of work backwards, reverse engineer, and say, how many weddings do I want to work a year? How many weekends do I want to work a year? And also say, how much money do I want to make from this business a year? And then figure out the math from there. And from there, look it over and go, well, this is specific, it's measurable, is it attainable, and is it realistic? And you can work your timeline to make it so. That is how I would tackle SMART goals as a wedding professional. Now, there is the happiness goal. That's one of the things I've been working on. And you still want to apply the SMART goal to it. But really, I relate it, of course, to work because I spend a lot of time working. So, what sort of clients am I working with that are going to help nurture that happiness goal, right? If you work your SMART goal and you're going to have, let's say, 10 weddings, you're doing just 10 weddings a year, but they're all like these miserable people, that's not really going to be great for you. So, let's kind of, I work into my goals at least the types of clients I'm working with and working with people who I really love, who respect my work, who respect my opinion, but also I respect theirs, and we work in conjunction together. It's an open dialogue. We understand we got to meet in the middle to find, I got to find what they like, and they realize that I have some social media knowledge that will help them too, and we meet in the middle. I love that. I love people who are passionate about the industry. I mean, I really love people who just say, do what you want, I don't care. That I love. That I love. That's on the list too. But those are things that help my happiness goal. And why? Because when I'm working with people like that, it helps my inner freedom, right? When somebody's suffocating you and micromanaging you, for me, that doesn't work. Maybe you like that as a wedding professional because they're very specific and you can do what they say. For me, I don't like that. So you want to think about what elements of my work will encourage my freedom, my inner freedom, my financial freedom, all of those things, because the more freedom I have, the happier I'm going to be. So now for me personally, in my coaching, we went over these for also healthy goals and wealthy goals. So those I won't get into on this because I think, have gotten enough of the formula through the examples we have given here. But what I hope you really get out of it is that there is a way to make really specific and tangible goals for your bookings. And what we've been struggling with as an industry is that the pandemic did alter our past numbers to work with, because we had 2020 was a bust, and then 2022 was super busy because all the rescheduled weddings were moved. Then 2023 we were kind of getting back our footing, and so 2024 might be our first year with more authentic numbers. And by that, I mean numbers that are going to be relevant to look back on year after year. So it used to be, let's say in 2019, we could say, wow, in 2018 last year, we somehow had, 6 weddings booked in February. If you were to use 2020 or 2021 or 2022 as a reference point, it's not going to be accurate anymore because there were so many other factors in that number. So that's why using a SMART goal instead of your past bookings is going to be particularly important as you create these 2024 goals. So if you have enjoyed this podcast, I encourage you to please consider leaving it a review. It helps more people to find this podcast. Or hey, take a screenshot and share it with me on Instagram. I will make sure to share it with my audience too. I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for being here.